Greetings new types and old types. I am here to talk about a game called Mobile Suit Gundam EXVS Maxi Boost ON. We'll just call it MBON for short. If you like competitive fighting games, then this game may interest you. Surely you'd like to hear about the game that was #1 in Japanese arcades for the past decade? You may be wondering, if this game was so big in arcades, and for so long, why am I only talking about it now? The truth is, MBON is the first game in the series to receive an English translation, and an official release in the West. There was a game called EXVS, but we don't talk about that one. That's right, if you were a member of the Western Gundam fan base, your options when it came to games were fairly limited. Not only that, but as of 2020, it's been 4 years since MBON's arcade debut, and 2 years since the sequel, EXVS 2, replaced it in arcades. So what changed? Well, there's been no word on that from on high, but considering that a similar game simply called Gundam Versus was released in 2017, we can infer that this might have been a test run to gauge interest. Not to jump to conclusions, but if this theory is correct, then Western fans have definitely shown enough interest. And here we are now. As you may guess from the title, this game is based on the Mobile Suit Gundam franchise, a series that any self-respecting weeb is familiar with. The game is 2-on-2, which not only adds a teamwork aspect, but also creates a lot of opportunities for interaction between characters that would normally never meet. Considering that over 36 different series are included in MBON, there are a wealth of exciting interactions between characters, many of them unexpected. For example, Banner Herlinks is a fan of Setsuna FSA, and Io Fleming might have some choice words for Shinosuke. On top of that, there are about 185 different units to choose from, each with a different combination of weapons and tools. With the sheer number of variations, it's easy to find at least one character that suits your playstyle. You may even find different suits to play depending on your mood. Fans of the franchise will find that their favorite moments and special attacks have been faithfully recreated. From Shining Gundam's Shining Finger, to F-91's Goofy Beam Hoops. Another part of this game's charm is just how flashy everything is. Visually, the mobile suits look very nice on the PS4, and it is likely that the realization of these suits in 3D has sold quite a bit of gunpla. There's a ton of cool weapons in this game, with varying degrees of futurism and fantasy, and they're usually quite a treat to see in action. Melee attacks are interesting as well. Simply pressing the button repeatedly will execute an attack string, and each suit has about 6 preset attack strings executed similarly to Super Smash Bros. It can be very impressive to watch a player execute a combination of melee strings while avoiding crossfire from the other enemy. This game also has a very exciting tempo to it. Tons of lasers and bullets flying, mobile suits leaping and flipping, and on top of that when players use the X-Burst, the game takes a second to show a cut-in of the pilot screaming. I would say that the biggest barrier to entry is adapting to the control scheme and game mechanics. There are resources that explain the controls more in depth, but to put things briefly, MBON is played with 5 buttons. A. Shoot, B. Melee, C. Boost, D. Search, and Com. Every suit has the same tools accessed through 2-button combinations of the A, B, and C buttons, A, B, A, C, etc., while Search simply switches targets. The Com button sends preset messages to your partner, most commonly to report your approximate damage taken. You can also choose from a variety of relevant preset messages, like saying, "I have enough gauge to burst," or "I am going ahead." The ins and outs of movement are complex enough that I think they deserve their own video. If you've stuck with me through this much explanation and you're still interested, I highly recommend giving this game a look. At the time of making this video, there are several weeks before the game is fully released, but every weekend there is a free open play session on PSN. Additionally, because this game has been around for so long, it's quite easy to find footage of Japanese players simply by searching MBON. There should be plenty of reference around to help you decide whether you'd like to give this game a try. Personally, I have found this game quickly became one of my favorites. Have fun out there. Be cool.